ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
Ha! It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network. ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
This is ADBN News, the headlines. African Union endorsed Nigeria as digital trade champion for the continent. Nigeria United States commit to strengthening diplomatic and economic relations amid repatriation concerns. NSCDC deploy operatives to safeguard telecom infrastructure ahead of NLC's proposed shutdown. Human rights groups warn against potential mass expulsion of Palestinians from Gaza. And in sport, Nigeria's badminton team earns praise after strong performance at All Africa Championship. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I am Grace Ike. The news in details. African Union has officially endorsed Nigeria as the digital trade champion for the continent under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Digital Trade Protocol, recognizing federal government's strong track record in fostering digital enterprise and innovation. This endorsement came during the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government, which concluded yesterday in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The session acknowledged Nigeria's proactive role in advancing implementation of the Digital Trade Protocol, which was adopted in February 2024. In his annual report on the progress of the AFCFTA's Digital Trade Protocol, former president of Niger and AFCFTA champion also lauded Nigeria's leadership, particularly for hosting the Digital Economy Roundtable in January. He also highlighted significant contributions of young Africans in digital innovation, especially in mobile banking and other digital-enabled services. He commended President Bola Tinubu and his administration for convening the event and inviting AFCFTA Secretariat to participate. The Director General of World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has urged African leaders to explore internal funding opportunities to support the continent's development. Speaking at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the former Nigerian finance minister emphasized the need for African leaders to attract investment and mobilize resources to navigate the current social and economic challenges, particularly in light of the policies implemented during the Donald Trump presidency. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a former World Bank economist, pointed out that Africa must shift its mindset to view challenges as opportunities. She highlighted the impact of the pause on billions of dollars in the U.S. funding for global health and education projects, stressing that Africa needs to find alternative solutions to fill the gap left by these funding cuts. Minister of Information and National Orientation Alhaji Mohammed Idris has called for a more liberal visa policy for Nigerian businesses looking to establish factories and operations abroad. Alhaji Idris made the call in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where he represented President Bola Tinubu at a meeting with the Nigerian community in Ethiopia held alongside the 38th ordinary session of the African Union Heads of State and Government Summit. The minister highlighted that while Nigeria continues to create a favorable environment for foreign companies to invest within its borders, it is only fair that other countries extend similar support to Nigerian businesses aiming to expand internationally. In response to concerns about the Ethiopian government's cancellation of e-visas and visa on-arrival options for Nigerian travelers, he assured that the matter would be forwarded to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for diplomatic discussions. The minister urged Nigerians living overseas to consistently uphold good conduct and responsible citizenship to enhance the country's image internationally. The federal government has called on the United States to adhere to international conventions when repatriating Nigerian immigrants. This appeal was made by Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, during a meeting with U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria at her office in Abuja. The minister expressed concern over reports that 201 Nigerians were being held in the U.S. immigration detention centers, with 85 already cleared for deportation. She emphasized need for a dignified repatriation process, allowing those affected to retrieve their belongings before returning to Nigeria. The Ambassador Ojukwu also urged the U.S. to reconsider any plans to suspend the drop-box visa system, a service relied upon by many Nigerians for easier travel. She called for an official statement from the U.S. to clarify its position on the matter and raised concerns about the future of Nigerian students in the U.S. and the potential impact on USA programs, stressing the importance of maintaining strong bilateral cooperation. In response, Ambassador Mills reassured that the drop-box visa system had not been suspended but was under review, and clarified that repatriated Nigerians would be returned to Lagos with priority given to those convicted of crimes or violations of immigration laws. A petroleum product retail outlet owners Association of Nigeria has asserted that premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, produced by Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited meets the highest industry standards. This statement came in response to a viral video that speculated that the company's fuel was of subpar quality. In a release, Petroan's spokesperson Joseph Obele explained that the association had conducted a thorough and rigorous test on NNPCL's petroleum product following claims made in the viral video. He confirmed that the results were satisfactory, demonstrating that NNPCL's product meet and in some cases exceed the required industry standards. He urged the public to ignore fabricated lies and rely on verified sources for accurate information. Similarly, Petron resident Billy Gillis-Harry emphasized responsibility of content creators, warning them against making light of sensitive issues that could potentially destabilize the economy. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has issued a stern warning to Nigeria Labour Congress regarding its planned shutdown of telecommunication services on 1st March in response to the recent 50% tariff hike. NSCDC spokesperson Baba Wale Afolabi, in an interview with newsmen, stated that the agency had deployed operatives to telecommunication base stations to prevent any illegal actions by protesters. NLC had announced its intention to halt operations of telecom companies nationwide if the tariff increase implemented by the Nigerian Communications Commission is not reversed by the end of February. In a communique signed by its president, Comrade Joe Ajero, NLC accused telecom operators of breaching public trust by implementing the tariff hike before the completion of a review panel's deliberations. In response, NSCDC urged the NLC to reconsider its protest plans, warned that any disruption to telecom services could expose the country to criminal activities and compromise national security. The agency further stressed that its personnel were on high alert and warned that anyone involved in illegal activities during the protest would be dealt with according to the law. National Association of Nigerian Students has expressed support for the recent decision by Southwest governors to establish a joint security network and food hubs to tackle insecurity and hunger in the region respectively. The governors at a meeting held last week in Lagos agreed to create combined security structures and food centers as part of effort to promote socio-economic growth in the Southwest. Governors of the 6 Southwest states, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, Oyo and Ondo states also pledged to collaborate on ensuring effectiveness of Southwest Development Commission in driving coordinated regional progress. In response, NANS issued a statement signed by Gabriel Francis, the chairman of NANS Ogun, in Abeokuta, praising the governor's initiative as a positive and timely decision. The NANS president highlighted that the collaborative effort and approach to addressing issues like insecurity and hunger would significantly contribute to the region's economic development. Furthermore, he urged the governors to broaden their cooperation beyond security and food security to include transportation, joint trade fairs, youth development programs, industrial growth, ICT, and other socio-economic initiatives. A Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Honorable Moji Shola is reportedly under significant pressure to resign. This development follows a dramatic incident where operatives of Department of State Services alongside other armed security personnel stormed the Assembly complex in Ikeja, heightening tensions in the state. On Monday morning, popular TV anchor Sheung also took to his ex-former Twitter account to share updates on the political turmoil unfolding in Lagos. Miranda's position has been uncertain ever since the return of the impeached speaker, who continues to challenge his removal, intensifying the rift within the assembly. There are growing speculations that Obasa may reclaim his former role, particularly following an alleged intervention by President Bola Tinubu. The situation has sparked confusion and uncertainty within the Lagos State Legislature, with many closely monitoring how the political drama will unfold in the coming days. Osun State caucus in the 10th House of Representatives has condemned the unlawful attempt by dismissed local government council officials to reclaim their positions despite a clear ruling from the Court of Appeal in Akure against their reinstatement. Speaking on behalf of the caucus in Abuja, Honorable Bamidele Salam, supported by 11 other members, expressed grave concern over the breakdown of law and order in Osun State, emphasizing that the unwavering commitment to upholding democratic principles and the rule of law will stay. In a briefing with journalists in the National Assembly, the members reiterated that Governor Ademola Adeleke had previously appealed to President Bola Tinubu for intervention to prevent undue influence on security agencies in the matter.
We use this medium to condemn the brazen effrontery of the sacked local government council officials to return to office, notwithstanding the yet to be set aside decision in spite of a subsisting judgment of the Court of Appeal. Matters personally themselves, this former local government chairman decided to invade local government secretariats across the 30 local governments of Osun State today. The people of Osun State woke up to the criminal takeover of the local government secretariat across the state by these sacked officials who forcefully broke into the premises of the councils in several local governments, aided by thugs and hooligans who have been shooting sporadically, wreaking havoc on the people of the state, thereby constituting a very great nuisance and danger to the peaceful people of Osun State. Sadly, this is being perpetrated with the support of some security personnel, relying on a non-existent judgment of the Court of Appeal.
The caucus accused Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Boyega Oyetola and APC leaders of orchestrating this disruptive event with the backing of security agencies. They described the situation as a clear path to anarchy, citing numerous violent attacks against innocent citizens by APC thugs and security forces. In response, the caucus appealed to President Bola Tinubu to instruct Inspector General of Police to restore peace and order in Osun State. They also urged the President to direct the National Security Advisor and Attorney General of the Federation to advise the ruling party against further escalation.
We hereby call on His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief, who is the father of the nation, His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course to all well-meaning persons, organizations, and groups, civil society, the media, and the international community, to call to order security personnel who are aiding and abetting this violation of the ground norm of Nigeria, which is the Nigerian Constitution, and the sanctity of the judiciary. We call on Mr. President to instruct the National Security Advisor and the Attorney General of the Federation to properly advise the leaders of the All Progressive Congress in Osun State to toe the line of constitutionality and legality. Once you have lodged, to come around and seek to use barbaric methods to impose your own will on the peaceful people of a state.
Moving on, Niger Delta Development Commission has donated essential mobility aids and assistive devices to persons living with disabilities in Akwa Ibom State as part of activities to commemorate International Day of Persons with Disability. NDDC Managing Director Dr. Samuel Obuku, speaking at the event in Uyo, urged persons with disability to embrace their uniqueness and not feel inferior. Dr. Obuku, represented by the Commissioner representing NDDC in Akwa Ibom State, acknowledged importance of the event theme, amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future.
Please, I am here to encourage you on behalf of the Managing Director of the NDDC, Chief Samuel Obuku, the entire board members, management and staff of NDDC. And I want to use the opportunity to correct one impression as to what the SA and PWD said. It is not the first time NDDC is doing this. At least I was the staff of NDDC. And during that time, this kind of event used to take place. So it is not the first time. Maybe perhaps this is the first time you are being invited officially. I want to really encourage you that you are cherished. All of you are cherished. Whether you are a woman, you are a man, and you find yourself where you found yourself. You did not create yourself. God has answers to the situation you have found yourself. And so at the slightest opportunity that you have, do not feel inferior, feel, as if you are a second-class citizen. Who told you? You are a full first-class citizen.
On her part, Special Assistant to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State on Persons with Disabilities, Mrs. Nene Bassi, appreciated the gesture and assured that the equipment would be used responsibly.
I want to use this medium to inform us as a whole that we have officially commenced the enrollment of Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance Scheme for persons with disabilities. Wow. And we all say thank you to our state representative and your team who has made this possible for my people, my brothers, my sisters, to be part of it. We also want to say that today, on behalf of the persons with disabilities in Akwa Ibom State,
emphasizing the need to recognize mental health as a form of disability. According to specialist psychiatrist Dr. Godwin, raising awareness about mental health would encourage individuals to seek help early, thereby reducing mental health disorders within the society.
Mental illness is one of the components of internationally recognized disabilities. Yes, how you will overcome depression is not solely a personal thing. At first, you need to see an expert who is going to evaluate you and make that diagnosis of depression for you, because what you may call depression may not really meet the criterion or criteria for making such a conclusion. In events that we've made that conclusion and you've made the diagnosis of depression, we will enroll you on treatment plan. But what you can do from your end, which is the non-chemical form of treatment, non-pharmacological treatment, is benefiting from a good social support system. Having loved ones around you or concerned people around you that can provide support to you.
Beneficiaries, including Janet Umo, expressed gratitude for the donations, which would greatly improve their mobility and quality of life. You're watching ADBN News at 7. Stay with us for more stories after this break.
Now here's some exciting news. ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms on Avo TV app, ADBN channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Limex World TV app, ADBN TV. Get the latest news straight to your phone. Join our WhatsApp channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across our social media handles on X at ADBN_TV, Instagram at ADBN_TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV_NG, and keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
And now to security reports. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has ramped up its efforts to combat counterfeit drugs, uncovering vast warehouses filled with fake and expired medications in Aba, Onitsha and Idumota. NAFDAC's Director General Professor Mojishola Adeyeye declared enough is enough in a statement as operatives raided multiple locations, seizing 14 truckloads of substandard and falsified drugs. In Aba, enforcement officers discovered illegal depot on Fox Road and in Umumeje village, Osisioma Ungwa, where expired medicines were being repackaged and revalidated for resale. In Onitsha, NAFDAC operatives working with security agencies raided Ogbogu Bridge head markets, confiscating billions of naira worth of expired and adulterated medicines. Meanwhile, in Lagos, NAFDAC's crackdown extended to Idumota open drug market, where over 3,000 drug shops were raided. The agency sealed off unregistered pharmaceutical outlets and confiscated 12 truckloads of illicit drugs, including banned injections, diverted HIV retroviral drugs, and vaccines stored in unsafe conditions. The ongoing enforcement effort aimed to remove fake, expired, and substandard medicine from circulation, ensuring safety and health of Nigerians. And troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army have arrested 12 suspected oil thieves in recent operations conducted in Rivers, Delta, and Bayelsa states, where 95,000 liters of stolen product were also recovered. The spokesperson of the 6th Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jona, while giving a breakdown of the success recorded, said 25 illegal refining camps were deactivated as 18 speedboats used for the illegal business were completely destroyed. According to Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma, the operations lasted between 10th through 16th of February 2025, while stating that the reinvigorated crackdown is also progressing in Akwa Ibom State. General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Eric Emeka, commended the troops for the continued onslaught against economic saboteurs. Meanwhile, General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Eric, has paid an operational visit to Imo River stretch to have an on-the-spot assessment of the illegalities going on in that corridor. The visit, which was conducted on the 15th of February, saw the GOC traverse the entire Imo River trenches through the waterways and deep into the adjoining creeks and other areas. Major General Emeka visited illegal bunkering havens around Afam, Obama, and Umori creeks, all in Obigbo local government area of Rivers State, as well as waterways in Abia State. These places Adbn TV gathered were known for their disruptive illegal oil bunkering business. During the visit, the GOC ordered demolition of all structures in the area suspected of supporting illegal oil activities. He personally oversaw the operation, with troops searching surrounding forest to ensure destruction of all illegal structures and refining sites. In Ondo State, operatives from the Quick Response Team at the Naval Outpost located in the local government area of the state have intercepted a locally fabricated wooden boat carrying illegal refined petroleum products. The operation, led by the Base Operations Officer of Forward Operating Base Igbokoda, resulted in seizure of 1,400 liters of illicit oil stored in 44 jerrycans. In response to the bust, Navy Captain, commander of the FOB Igbokoda, issued a stern warning of oil thieves, urging them to avoid the region. He confirmed that the seized boat and its content would be deactivated according to existing regulations and directives from Defense Headquarters. Captain Usman emphasized the Navy remains committed to protecting Nigeria's waterways and critical national assets, vowing to continue efforts to combat criminal activities in the region. In Ebonyi State, Governor Francis Wilfuru has urged military to intensify efforts to end recurring sit-at-home orders imposed by non-state actors in the southeast region, while reaffirming his commitment to continued support for the armed forces. Governor Wilfuru made the call during a meeting with the new General Officer Commanding of the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Enugu Major General Oluyemi Olatoye, at his office in the new Government House, Centenary City, Abakaliki, the state capital. In a press statement signed by the Governor's Chief Press Secretary, Monday Uzo, Governor Wilfuru also urged security agencies to implement a reward system to boost morale of their officers and personnel. In response, Major General Olatoye commended Governor Wilfuru for his ongoing support of the military and assured that he would work closely with the state to ensure maintenance of law and order. Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted an application by former Petroleum Minister Desiani Alison Madueke to amend her lawsuit challenging Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's order for the final forfeiture of his seized asset. The ruling came after Desiani's lawyer, Godwin, moved the motion and EFCC's counsel, Divine Oguru, raised no objections. He also informed the court that they had already filed a motion to amend their originating process and that the defendant had been properly served. Oguru did not, however, oppose the request, and Justice Eko granted it as prayed. The judge gave Desiani 5 days to file and serve the amended processes and allowed EFCC 14 days from the date of service to respond. The case was adjourned till 17th March for further mention. A Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center has arrested 11 suspects linked to cybercrime, online fraud, and romance scams targeting Japanese women. The center's director, CP Ifeanyi Uche, and Superintendent Ike Takashi of Japan's National Police Agency, while speaking at a joint press briefing, confirmed that the suspect had been under surveillance since 2022. Deputy Force Public Relations Officer Victor Isiku revealed that 2 other members of the syndicate are still being pursued and also announced recovery of monies from the suspect.
Investigation have led to the recovery of the total sum of 33,320 $320, while further investigation is ongoing to uncover additional funds and to bring all members of the syndicate to justice. This case demonstrates the dedication of the Nigerian police force to combating cybercrime and ensuring security in the cyberspace. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu, PhD NPM, National Central Bureau, as well as the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center for their dedication, passion, and diligence effort in combating all forms of cyber-related and cyber-enabled crime.
The director of the National Cybercrime Center and Japan's National Police Agency both stressed that cybercrime has no borders and can only be tackled through international cooperation.
This is the first joint operation between Nigeria and Japan in this crime area. We have continued to cooperate together with Nigerian police force for around 1 year under the Interpol's Operation Jackal. Although we, Nigeria and Japan, are far apart, we will continue to work closely together with each other and commit to combating those international organized crime.
Cybercrime is a borderless crime. It's a crime that affects the interest of the world, not Nigeria alone. What it means is that countries need to speak, countries need to collaborate, countries need to work together. The cyber criminals are actually well organized. But if you can see what is going on now, we are now like a step ahead of all the.
In the meantime, authorities have warned the public to remain vigilant against online scams while reaffirming their commitment to combating cybercrime. In Akwa Ibom State, the State Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Azari, has addressed key security challenges in the state, covering issues such as road safety, police welfare, gender inclusion, and growing concerns of cultism. CP Azari, who appeared on the Adbn TV program Niger Delta Today, highlighted ongoing efforts of the police force to maintain peace and order across the state. Regarding the enforcement of third-party vehicle insurance, CP Azari explained that it is in line with federal road safety regulations and reassured that the policy aims to protect road users by ensuring minimum coverage in the event of accidents.
This is the provisions of the law, that everybody must have a third-party, minimum of a third-party insurance. You can have a comprehensive insurance, but minimum that you're supposed to have by law is third-party insurance. And you can't fly Nigerian roads without that third-party insurance. And the essence is to protect the road users. It's protect the road users against loss. So that is the essence of the insurance. And we felt that, thank God, so far so good. In Akwa Ibom, they have complied very well with such directives. Prior to that, we have engaged them. I told you we have engaged them in talks, in discussions, in seeing the reason why they should key in to get it.
In his discussion on police welfare and gender inclusion, the CP emphasized ongoing efforts to enhance working conditions of officers, along with a strong commitment to increasing representation of female officers in the force.
He has been insisting on gender mainstreaming to ensure that the women are also given their chances of share to operations and to all other sectors within the system. So without retraining them or training them to meet up with those challenges, you find out that they will not be able to take up some of these duties. And that is why we have to train them, sensitize them, and bring them on board to be able to meet up with the challenges that their male counterpart are experiencing in the field. Recently, you hardly can hear any policeman to say that he has not received his salary at the end of the month. Okay. Before now, long ago, you find out that 3 months, 4 months, salary has not come. But now, you are receiving salaries even sometime before some state governments or even local government staff. You pay, police are being paid their salaries as at when due. And the same thing with the allowances, they are being paid.
A key issue highlighted during the discussion was the growing influence of cultism, especially among university students, with CP Azare acknowledging the serious threat it poses to the society. He emphasized that the police are ramping up efforts through intelligence-driven operations and called for greater collaboration between law enforcement agencies to tackle the problem effectively.
Yes, but I don't say it does not exist. It still exists, but we are trying as much as possible. We even collaborate with the university authorities to ensure that we don't allow it to escalate or to go anywhere. So the police are doing whatever it takes with other security agencies in the state. We collaborate together to ensure that we bring it down drastically or even try to eliminate it very soon.
The Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of Moshood Jimo as the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command. A statement by the head press and public relations of the Commission, Ike Chukwuani, said CP Jimo, before his appointment, was Commissioner of Police Port Authority, Eastern Port. The statement explained that CP Jimo, who hails from Kwara State, was former Force Public Relations Officer and later Deputy Commissioner Airport Police, Deputy Commissioner Finance and Administration, and Deputy Commissioner General Investigation. His confirmation followed his appearance before the Police Service Commission, where key officials, including Commission's Chairman, DIG Hashimo, also Justice Adamu Paul and DID Taiwo Lakanu retired, were present. And to other report, West African Examinations Council has released result for the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for private candidates second series. The exam, which held from the 25th October to 20th December 2024, introduced a new computer-based hybrid mode alongside the traditional paper and pencil format. In a statement, WAEC's acting head of public affairs also revealed that 65,023 candidates participated in the examination across 5,067 centers nationwide, marking a 20% decline from the previous year. WAEC also reported that 95.9% of the results have been fully processed and released, enabling most candidates to access their scores without delay. A performance analysis indicated that 53.64% of candidates obtained at least 5 credits, including English and mathematics, following a 9.35% improvement compared to the 2023 result. However, 2,577 candidates, representing 3.96%, had their result withheld due to suspected involvement in examination malpractice. Affected candidates have been advised to visit WAEC's official portal to address their cases. In a bid to redefine luxury living in Uyo Akwa Ibom State Capital, Elianerio Hotels has launched her D31 residency in grand style. The grand launch at Elwet Housing Estate was attended by executive members of the hotel management, the brand ambassador, and members of the press. Addressing the media, the hotel ambassador, Ms. Gift Akpabio, highlighted the facilities' unmatched privacy, comfort, and elite security architecture, emphasizing that the facility is not a hideout for criminal elements.
We have apartments that defines luxury. Our 8 fully furnished 2-bedroom units offer a fully equipped kitchen for effortless culinary experiences. We also offer spacious, exquisitely designed living areas for relaxation and entertainment. We have en-suite bedrooms with premium fittings. We have fine dining options with a personal in-house outsourced chef. Laundry services and world-class housekeeping for absolute convenience. Secondly, we're situated at a prime location that puts you at the center of it all. At D31 Residency, security is a guarantee, not just a promise. Our residents enjoy 24-hour corporate security personnel, energized electric perimeter fencing, federal security services for elite protection.
Also addressing questions from journalists present, the general manager further harped on security, assuring that their staff would undergo proper security training and are best equipped for the job.
Of course, every person who goes into business now in Nigeria doesn't take security as a mere, how would I put it? We take, it's a priority. We don't allow hoodlums to come in here. Of course, every of our guests, we ensure that whoever that comes in here is our sole responsibility. So we've installed CCTV cameras, well monitored by our trained staffs, to ensure that we monitor every activities within the four walls of this hotel, so that each of our guests that comes in here have maximum security.
You're watching Adbn News at 7. Stay with us for more stories after this break. The overall function of the Parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes to federation.
Removal of fuel subsidy, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, from bills, motions, and constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on Adbn TV, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, as we bring you activities of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eyes have it.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. And on a foreign scene, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has hosted Jordan's Crown Prince Hussein bin Abdullah Rida in Cairo to continue discussions on a plan to rebuild Gaza without displacing its Palestinian residents. The two leaders addressed latest development in the Palestinian territories, including efforts to implement the ceasefire agreement in Gaza, the exchange of hostages and detainees, and ensuring access to humanitarian aid. Egypt is preparing to host an Arab summit on the 27th of February and is working with other countries to present a counter-proposal that would allow for Gaza's reconstruction without forcing Palestinians to leave. Human rights groups have, however, warned that such a mass expulsion would likely breach international law, while Egypt has also cautioned that a large influx of Palestinians would threaten its peace treaty with Israel, a key element of U.S. influence in the region. Meanwhile, European leaders have convened in Paris for a special summit to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's proposals for ending the war in Ukraine. And French President Emmanuel Macron organized the meeting to initiate consultations on the ongoing situation in Ukraine and broader security challenges. The summit, held during the Munich Security Conference, aims to bring together all partners committed to peace and security on the continent. There are growing concerns among EU countries and Ukraine that the US and Russia might pursue a peace agreement bilaterally, especially after Trump expressed his determination to bring the conflict to an end. Both Europe and Ukraine insist that they must be included in any peace talks. United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer has disclosed that he was prepared to send troops to Ukraine if necessary to safeguard Britain and Europe's security. In an article, Starmer reiterated that UK was playing a leading role in supporting Kiev against Russia, adding that the commitment could include contributing to security guarantees for Ukraine by deploying British troops if the situation demands it. Additionally, he announced that he would meet with U.S. President Donald Trump in the coming days, emphasizing that the UK has a unique role to ensure close cooperation between Europe and the United States. He stressed that continued U.S. support remains vital and that our security guarantee is essential for achieving lasting peace, as only the U.S. has the power to deter Russian President Vladimir Putin from further aggression. And United States President Donald Trump has stated he could meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin soon, expressing belief that Putin genuinely wants to end the fighting in Ukraine. This comment comes shortly after Secretary of State Macron downplayed expectations for high-level talks aimed at resolving the war. Delegation for discussions with Russian officials in Saudi Arabia's capital in the coming days as diplomatic effort intensify ahead of the Ukraine war's third anniversary. Speaking to reporters, Trump revealed that his team had been engaged in long and hard talks with Russian officials, including his Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, who recently met with Putin for about 3 hours. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President also warned that Russia may be preparing to challenge a weakened NATO if Trump were to diminish U.S. support for the alliance. Trump, however, dismissed Zelensky's remarks, saying he was not concerned by the Ukrainian leader's comment. Trump has consistently claimed that he could end the Ukraine conflict in a single day if re-elected, though Rubio emphasized that resolving such a protracted and complex war would not be easy. In the meantime, Trump administration has appealed to the Supreme Court in a bid to have head of a U.S. agency responsible for protecting federal employees and whistleblowers removed. According to U.S. media report, this marks the first time President Donald Trump has turned to the conservative-dominated court as part of his ongoing efforts to reduce public spending and dismantle federal agencies which have faced mounting legal challenges. In an emergency appeal filed by the Supreme Court on Sunday, Trump administration described the situation as an unprecedented assault on the separation of powers, arguing that immediate action was necessary. According to the appeal, no court in U.S. history has ever issued an injunction to force a president to retain an agency head whom the belief should not hold executive power. The appeal also warned that the court intervention represents a broader trend and urged Supreme Court to avoid allowing the judiciary to govern via temporary restraining orders, arguing that such actions undermine political accountability as prescribed by the Constitution. Relatives of Israelis kidnapped by the Palestinian extremist group Hamas in 2023 organized rallies to mark 500 days in their captivity. The day's event began with a blocking of central streets in multiple towns and cities, including Tel Aviv, Israel's coastal metropolis. Currently, 73 hostages from the October 2023 abduction are still being held in Gaza, with 36 of them believed to have died. Under the current ceasefire, which began on the 19th January, 33 Israeli hostages are set to be freed from Gaza in exchange for 1,904 Palestinian prisoners. To date, Hamas has released 19 hostages and 5 Thai nationals who were also kidnapped, though not as part of the agreement. Another 14 hostages, including 8 confirmed dead, are expected to be released in the coming 2 weeks. In China, President Xi Jinping has held a special meeting with leading figures from the country's technology sector to discuss ways to improve the environment for private businesses. The meeting, which took place at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, marks a notable shift in Beijing's approach towards tech companies, especially after recent regulatory crackdowns and concerns over economic slowdown. During the gathering, Xi delivered a speech to the business leaders, though the details of his address have not been made public by state news agency. Investors closely monitored the meeting's development, with many reacting by adjusting their trading strategies based on the footage of the gathering. Another report, at least 9 people have died as powerful winter storms ravage United States, with 8 fatalities reported in Kentucky due to severe flooding. Kentucky governor confirmed that hundreds of residents have been rescued after being stranded by rapidly rising floodwaters. The governor urged residents to stay off the roads and commended first responders for their bravery during ongoing rescue operations. The storm's impact was felt nationwide, with dangerously cold temperatures sweeping through the northern plains and also warning issued for parts of Georgia and Florida. Rescue and recovery efforts are still underway as severe weather conditions persist across the region. The Director General of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olopade, has praised Nigeria's badminton team for the outstanding performance at the All-Africa Senior Badminton Championship in Cameroon. The team finished in 3rd place in the overall medal standings, securing 1 gold and 2 bronze medals at the prestigious continental event. Honorable Olopade expressed immense pride in the team's resilience and dedication despite the challenges they faced. He also commended the leadership of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, the players, and the coaching staff for their steadfast commitment, noting that they represented Nigeria with great pride and achieved remarkable results despite the difficulties. A standout moment in the championship was Opoyori's historic feat as he claimed his 5th consecutive gold medal in the men's single event. And Pep Guardiola has stated that Manchester City have just a 1% chance of keeping their Champions League hope alive as they prepare for Wednesday's second leg playoff clash against Real Madrid in Spain. Madrid, who claimed a record 15th Champions League title by defeating Dortmund in last season's final at Wembley, secured a 3-2 victory in the first leg at the Etihad Stadium last week. Their win was sealed with 2 goals in the final 4 minutes of the match. City's record at the Santiago Bernabeu is less than stellar, with just 1 victory, a 2-1 win in the round of 16 back in February 2020. To avoid an early exit from this year's competition, Guardiola's side must overcome Carlo Ancelotti's team in Madrid. Despite the daunting task, Guardiola acknowledged the uphill battle his team faces at the Bernabeu, but emphasized that they still have a slim chance of progressing to the next round. And the meantime, Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has emphasized that he is not concerned about his job security despite the team suffering their 12th Premier League defeat of the season at Tottenham Hotspur and finding themselves in the 15th place. Since replacing Erik ten Hag, Amorim has overseen 8 losses in the 14 league matches. However, the Portuguese coach stated that his primary concern is being in the bottom half of the table rather than the possibility of losing his job. Amorim expressed that his focus remains on helping the players, acknowledging his situation and reaffirming his confidence in their ability to win matches. He also stressed that he understands his role and is dedicated to turning things around. United were dealt another setback this weekend as Ahmed was ruled out for the remainder of the season due to an ankle ligament injury sustained during training. And Nigeria Football Federation has expressed its condolences to the family of former Nigeria international midfielder Ayo Ogunlano, who passed away in Kaduna on Friday after completing his early morning walk. NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohammed Sanusi paid tribute to Ogunlano, describing him as a star player who, during crucial Nigeria FA Cup matches in the 1980s, was present. He was a key figure in the Super Eagles midfield during the late 1980s and notably represented Nigeria at the 1990 Africa Cup of Nations in Algeria. Dr. Sanusi praised Ogunlano for his exceptional skills, highlighting his ability to make football look effortless with his elegant touches, turns and spectacular free kicks. Ogunlano was instrumental in Nigeria's qualification for the 1990 Africa Cup of Nations, helping the team secure victories over Guinea and Zimbabwe. He also delivered a commanding performance in the Super Eagles 2-0 win over Cameroon in a 1990 FIFA World Cup qualifying match in Ibadan. That's it on ADBN News. Remember to watch us live on DSTV, channel 258, on Star Times, channel 140, Apple TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on www.adbntv.com. You can also watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to www.adbntv.com/live. Thank you for watching. I am